Okay, so we want to do my review on the Polaris rear view mirror with backup camera. I'm not super impressed with it. In logic, it's a hell of a novelty item, I guess. I love the backup camera of my truck. Why not have it on the Ranger, right? It was basically inexpensive when it comes to parts for these things, I guess. So I went ahead and ordered it when they first came out for the next generation. I guess I forget what model they were putting them in as an option, but it was available for order. So when I ordered the bulk of the parts for my rig, I went ahead and threw it on there, and it took a couple extra months to get it, actually, due to back orders. So when I received it, basically I received the mirror, a bracket that would attach to the brace over the top of your windshield, and some basic instructions, and went to work putting it in. What I ended up finding out was this is they didn't think this through very well, actually. The location in which, well, let me back up a second here. I had already installed a windshield wiper washer box with a tip out windshield, and for that installation I cannot use the bracket that installs to the brace above the windshield. So there's an alternate option for installation, which is to the wiper washer box. Once you remove the wiper washer box, to the far left side, or far right side bottom corner, there is a provision precast into the box lid for this mirror to be installed to. So without, and this is my fault obviously, without dry fitting this mirror, I pulled the cover, drilled the holes, and installed the mirror, put it back on. Now, this placed the mirror so low that I basically had to lean over the passenger seat to utilize it. So, irritated, removed it and placed it up in the far top left-hand corner, re-drilled holes, and set it as far as I could in height. I'm a pretty good sized guy, 6'1", 225 pounds. Maybe a little taller than an average man, I guess, but regardless, the field of view is not good. So I believe even in the location it's at, I still have to kind of squat down to see it, and that's with the mirror turned all the way up on the orbital socket. So it's installed now. I'm just getting ready to run over to my buddy's house, so I thought I would show you what it looks like. So let's take a look. So this is the bracket location where I installed it. This is the bracket location where they had me install it. So now I have two beautiful holes, three with the pigtail for the camera itself in my cover. The mirror looks like this. It has the lines, and I'm not sure how to get the lines off, but I don't really mind them too much. It's the same on the truck, same on the vehicle, so I'm not exactly sure. I haven't actually laid it out to see if they're close or not, but hopefully they're scaled in. It does come on with reverse light, and the field of view out the back is not too bad. I can see, but like I was stating before, it's I almost have to bend down a little bit to see it. Kind of have to, even cocked all the way as far over to the left as I can and pushed up as far as I can. I can't quite get I can't get back in that view like I'd like to be able to see. It just doesn't get there. So I don't particularly like that part. I wish when I may do it, I may shim the back of this cover so that it actually sits up here. That's where I need it. And that could be, if they just had a little more adjustment, that would be that would be a lot better. Because obviously ranging heights of individuals, if my wife were to drive it, she's a foot shorter than I am, and she could probably use it great. There's plenty of adjustment in the down position, terrible adjustment any higher. So I'm stuck with that. So let's take a look in the back and see what it looks like coming out the back. My apologies here, I'm warming up the range for the leave, but the camera is located there on the back panel. I've obviously removed my sway bar because of the new shocks. The stability's there for what I ride, so I have the sway bar back on. It doesn't get muddy, which is crazy. You'd think it would. So once again, we're in the cab, and like I said, the angle is pointing down a little bit, but as you can see, I don't know if can't really get the glare out of this thing, but you can see right there is the underside of my bumper, looking through the stencil, I guess, that's cut into my bumper. So either, if you didn't have the bumper in place, it would probably have a greater range of view out higher, which is where it should be. I do wish that I had it mounted higher, maybe in the rack or something. So there is enough cable that comes with the unit, as well as an extension pigtail, where you could actually mount it on the roof, but the bracket wouldn't work for that. So you'd have to obviously fabricate your own bracket, but you could mount it up high on the roof, where a third brake light would be on a pickup truck. You could mount it on a rack. I'm sure you could mount it just about anywhere, keeping in mind, you know, obviously the gear that you're going to be throwing in. I have a tendency to put a tremendous amount of gear in this rig, so I'm constantly looking for options of storage options. So having it mounted on my rack or mounted on the bed somewhere is going to be it could be challenging for me. Something to think about. I actually may think about mounting it in the bumper. We talked about that. A buddy of mine, a couple beers, started talking about a unibit in the friggin' bumper would have been probably ideal, since I have the bumper installed already. I've already cut it up and modified it to put lights in it. One little hole is probably not going to hurt it anymore, and I've got plenty of slack left in the cab. So well, since we started doing that review, got me thinking I might as well go ahead and try to put that in the bumper. So I'm going to insert this later into the video, probably out of place, because I don't really know how to do the videos very well. But I did get it into the bumper. It's a little bit of an angle, the at-angled bracket that it installs to, I guess, makes the lines flat. The backup lines. Put in the bumper, you know, force the lines up slightly at an angle, which I'm not honestly too concerned about, because the additional view is phenomenal. Worked out much better. So we'll take a look at that. Put this thing in the rear bumper, right there. Got to clean it up a little bit around the outside and pull it and repaint that area around there. That'll bug me, but fits nice, pretty inconspicuous. But like I said, it's still, even though it's flat on the surface, it's kind of up at a little bit of an angle, so it does show the lines a little different. So going from this location where it was mounted there. And you can see the back side of the bumper here. Now here, looking out the back. So let's take a look at the front camera now and see what they did to change it. That's what it did. It did push the lines up, probably 15 degrees. But the increased view out the back and actual backup depth now. If I'm going to get close to something, I know how close I'm going to be. So that, I actually like that a lot better. Probably could have done the tailgate, but I think that would have been a real pain to get the wires fed through there. But I'm actually happy about that. So now if I could just figure out how to shim the mirror, I think I might have this rear view portion figured out. So I'll insert this into the video and it's gonna look funny, but you guys can give me shit in the comments section. I'm sure you will. Shortly after this one came out, I did see that they offered one for a Razor, I believe, that has a forward view as well, so that you have the ability to record. It's a DVR that can record almost like a GoPro off the front, as well as have a backup camera. And it did look like it had the option to be able to record forward and reverse, possibly. It might actually be able to stay on as well, so you can see behind you while riding and see what's behind you while driving forward, obviously, which would have been a benefit. I wouldn't mind having one in front sometimes. Being as high as it is now, it's tough to see down, and the terrain I ride in, the rocks just happen to be just tall enough to whack things that have a tendency to keep my weekends booked up. So it would be nice to do that. I've also heard that there's the possibility of integrating more cameras into it. Don't know if that's true or not. Could have been just something that I ran across, but I've thought about putting side view cameras on as rear view or side view mirrors, instead of running traditional side view mirrors, because I do not take my doors off and I can't see worth a damn, honestly, out of the side at all. So if I didn't have power windows, that would be that would stink. I have to shove my head out the window. So yeah, vision is key. So hopefully that answers some of the questions on the Polaris TrueView first gen, I think it is, honestly, rear view camera. Thanks.